To have you guys here today. Hello, welcome to be with all of you guys. Welcome in. I'll give you a minute or so to come in. Where are you guys from? Where are you guys chatting from? Welcome everybody. Hey, Kellis, welcome. Krista, Tilly, welcome. I'm just going to introduce myself because some of you guys may not know me. My name is Sheri Collins. I'm a psych records reader, but I also have many titles. I'm a coach. I love working with people and great with you guys to kind of share what I do with you guys. My approach to this stuff is very different than a lot of people. I've been doing this work for about 6 years now and loving absolutely every single moment of it. I'm from Ontario, Canada, and I have been a teacher and a facilitator around the entire world. I have clients in pretty much every continent and every city. So grateful to be here today with you guys. Let me know where you guys are coming from. Northern BC, welcome, Krista, welcome. Welcome. Tilly, North Dakota. Amazing. I do have clients from there as well. New Mexico. That's amazing. First time with you. Yeah, grateful to be here. This is my first time being on here. I was grateful to be asked to come on. I was so excited when she said yes, I could come. And I'll be on next. Yeah, super grateful. Jody is from West Wales, UK. Cornelia is from the UK as well. Helen's from England. You guys, a lot of you guys are over in the UK there in England. Awesome. Got you on the big screen. Oh, well, there you go. Yeah, I'm sure my accent sounds different than all of yours. Awesome. So we're going to do some readings today. So I'm actually going to mix it up just a little bit. So I'm going to give you a bit of kind of the different readings that I do. So I do tarot, but I also do collapsing timelines as well. So these are actually my own oracle cards. So we're going to pull from these today too. These help us to kind of collapse time messages, and we'll also do some Akashic. And so let me just explain what Akashic is. Akashic is your past, your present, your future. It's every life you've ever lived, every word you've ever said, and it allows us to kind of uncover the little pieces that we're still holding on to from the past or from parallel lifetimes that are hindering us from moving forward and kind of like expanding our own life. Brilliant, happy accent. Thank you. That's awesome. So I would love to share this with you guys. So feel free. You guys can ask specific questions. I do encourage that even when I'm on TikTok with my followers there and on Facebook. I encourage you to think about a question that you would like answered. Generally giving you what you want. So you can ask a specific question for yourself if you want to. We could definitely tap into past lives. When I tap into past lives, like you're not going to get that healing work. And we'll definitely do some readings. Let's see what's coming up now or in the future for you. Cornelia says, I would love a reading. So I'm being drawn just to the tarot for you. I feel like there's some stuff in your throat there that you're kind of working through, how to speak it out, how to articulate, they're saying. But I also feel like there's some... Your past has caught up with you. It feels, sorry about that. Your past has caught up with you. It feels as though sometimes you will bring up your past scenarios and it doesn't always align with where you're going now. And you get hung up in certain things on how to master yourself, but also how to pull yourself forward so that you're no longer sitting in the past. And it feels as though you've got these deep emotional connections to people. Now, the people have created the emotions that you're still holding on to. And it feels as though you're still, I want to say internally struggling mentally and emotionally on how to release the rest of this so that you're not they're just showing me a dog on a leash. It's like you're not being led backwards, that you're being propelled forwards. It feels like 8 months for you, there's going to be a massive amount of change. So it feels like there's this kind of an upheaval coming. I see the Tower card, but I also see this upheaval is going to put you in a different perspective, and it's going to bring you into more happiness. It feels like there's a gentleman of your past who you've kind of like rubbed wrong, or you both have ended poorly. It if you don't want to, but I actually see you making amends with this person. But it definitely feels like you've got to communicate what it is. Regardless of what it is, you have to communicate it out. I would also say, like, go for a walk and just talk out loud and release the rest of that. Yes, you do. Yeah. Awesome. Yeah. Yeah. 100%. You've totally got this. It just feels small. Like, it doesn't even feel like you need to even do too much to get this going. But I would say definitely go spend some time in nature and just chat. Allow it to come forward. Bad relationship. Yeah. Let it just be in the past. Forgive yourself for it and move forward. Because I feel like once this comes to a head, you'll never bring it back again. And that's where we're all heading at this moment is let me heal out these patterns and let me stop these projections that have come in for so long. So you're on the right path. I would say watch your posture as well, because I automatically want to lean forward. And this is the anticipation of something coming to you, right? This fear from the past. So just allow yourself to be the observer, and you'll start to sit up a little bit straighter as well. And then it's not so much of a reaction you're waiting for from someone. And then you won't react outward with like abrupt energies pulling your voice forward, which is not, you're doing a pressure cooker where it's like you suppress and then I got to release. Yeah. Eva, can I please have a reading? Absolutely. Let's bring in some timeline collapsing oracles first. So what do you need to release first? There's a gentleman with a hat that's sitting behind you as well. Release frustration, irritation, and you've been betrayed a lot. You've got a lot of stuff. These might be a little, there you go. So these cards have codes on them. So for you, releasing the frustration and irritation, I feel like you let everything get to you. You let it frustrate you. And it's almost as though, like I see this cat with its back up. This is you. You're always on guard, always waiting. And because you've been wounded so much in the past, you can't see that there's another way of this. So we'll just shift that and collapse that. This gentleman, literally same card again. This gentleman from the past is coming in to let you know that he was once in the same position as you, but he had to learn to let it go. So these cards fell out of the deck. So you're learning to complete cycles for yourself, but you have to stop pushing up against everything that comes your way. It's really not meant to show you that, we have to struggle and we have to battle and we have to think that there's all these blocks and barriers in our way, because there really isn't. You're creating it for yourself. But I also feel like there's a point in this journey forward where it's smooth sailing, and that's coming in very shortly. There's more for you. There's more for you to meant to help other people. Oops. There we go. You're coming into this balance of yourself to be able to help other people in their journey as well. This starts with you. This can mean a representation for a lot of people where it's like, oh, you only can help other people with this card, but this is your, you have to learn to heal yourself and learn how to bring in balance within your heart space and your head. There's someone who around you has heart trouble. You're picking up their heart insecurities of love and past relationships. And then you're kind of like pulling it into you as though it's your reality. It's not. Back to them. So really watch where you try to take on everyone else's problems, because they're not yours. And you're just giving yourself more shit to do. And excuse my French, but you don't need that to do. It's not yours. Let them do it. You can be someone who sits in harmony and balance and just provides support. I don't hold space for people. And the only reason why I don't is we want to put it back to them. This is yours. This is your reality. I'm going to allow you this, but I'll sit here and have a conversation with you and allow you to see where you need to release or let go. So you're coming into this as well. Start detaching from people, detach from their energy, detach from all of it. It's not yours. That's true. Good. Prachi D. If I said your name wrong, I apologize. May I know when I would get a new job? Well, let's see why you were laid off. It's actually coming in with a little bit of a past life too. 2 lives before this one, you actually got laid off as well. You got let go. And there was like this disgruntled employee. I feel it in your back into this shoulder. So on my right side, I know it's opposite on here, but you like to hold on to stuff like it's like the truth and it's the holy grail. You did the same thing in this past life. And when they let you go, you were a male in that lifetime, 23 years old. Look, revenge. So there's part of you that's got this built up frustration of being let go because you can't see that there's something better. And sometimes we get let go because we've already asked for the change. And then when it comes, we're frustrated that, I need. So right now is your chance to sit, be with yourself for a minute, and then ask for alignment. I see a job coming in about 6 to 8 weeks. So it doesn't feel like it's a long period of time. So it's almost like allow yourself to coast for a minute, allow yourself to go within for a minute and release where you're still frustrated and pissed off that you got let go. I do see it's for your best. There is something better coming. It looks like it's similar alignment to what you were just doing, but the people and the way they treat people and how you communicate, it's almost like you're going to thrive in this place. There's actually a female there. They're about in their early 30s, and they are like the mother hen that you're looking for. So it's like you're looking for that mentor. You're looking for someone that'll hold your hand a little bit, even though you're not new to this. But sometimes we need someone that will help us. And this place that you're going feels like there's opportunity to grow. See, there you go. So there is the better side. There is the light. There is this bigger expansion for you coming. So just sit with it for the moment. Ask the universe what direction, what alignment to go in, and then start putting that resume out. Tweak your resume just a little bit so it makes you sound a little bit more sophisticated, just different words. Right now, your resume lacks. It's like I get to midpoint and it's like, and it drops off. It's not encouraging or engaging anymore. So just revamp your resume a little bit. And this is what I tell people on TikTok and Facebook is that if you go to the police website where the new recruits would go in, they actually have lists of vocabulary that they look for when you submit a resume. So if you know the verbiage, put that in your resume so that it's not rejected every time you apply. But I feel like the job's going to come super easy. Yeah. Many blessings to you as well. I don't know how to pronounce your name. Trianieti? No, that's wrong. My apologies. Tayanita? I apologize. I don't know. I would love a message from thank you. I would love a message from my dad or boyfriend in spirit. Well, your dad stepped in right away and he said, you've got to watch your internal gut. So right across the abdomen, which I felt as well. He's also showing me something upset in him. So it's almost as though he didn't get to spend time with you to help encourage you and help you grow in a way that he would have liked. He's also showing me that he was consumed. So he's just showing me this, whether he liked his alcohol or his scotch. It's like I was consumed with things that didn't really matter. He's also showing me like he was tied. It's almost like, thank you. That's amazing. It's almost like he's showing me he was tied. It's like he couldn't say or express towards the he wanted to tell you. It feels like you took offense to that a little bit, but he's like, you need to have closure with this. There's some things that you're still holding in this part of your neck as well, where it's like, oh, I feel like I can't say this because then I'm not in that alignment. The boyfriend wants to stand a little bit further back. It's almost like he feels not worthy of the presence to be in right now with your dad being so close. So we'll just bring him in even more and see what he wants to tell you. Well, he's kind of in the similar boat as he said, I'm sorry I had to go. It's not that he didn't want to go or didn't want to stay. He's like, but I had to go. There's part of them that won't. So he's just saying, like, mentally, I'm not okay. So he's pulling the mental and the head down into the throat. So he's like, my mental isn't okay and I don't know how to express it. So it's not that he wanted to go or wanted to stay. He just was unsure of his whole pathway forward. He's like, I can't make it better. Not so much my dad. I told back to my boyfriend. Yeah. Accept it to a certain point. I feel like there's still part of you that wants your dad. There's still part of you that wants that father figure to guide you and lead you. The boyfriend's still the same thing. It's like, not all ready, not all there, not all excited. So they're both encouraging you to just live your highest life. They're bringing lots of people in for you to meet, not necessarily as connections as you may want, but they're bringing the people and alignment in for you to meet people as you travel forward on your journey so that you can start stepping out and expanding who you are as well and giving your knowledge and wisdom to other people. They're just saying, have fun. I feel like you don't have enough fun. Yeah. In Iva, hello, may I please have a reading? Absolutely. I'm actually being drawn right into the Akashic records for you. So 1818, it looks like you lived with your grandmother. It looks like she's very wealthy. It looks like your mom dropped you off there and never went back to pick you up. Interesting, because that's where this is going. So we'll see where this ends up with romantic as well. Yeah, when she passed, you thought she was going to leave you everything so that you would have this wealth and sophistication. There's part of you that wants those tangible things for yourself in a higher regard. I just see Ivana Trump around you. It's like, I want that sophistication. I want to show off. I want to be able to see myself in a different way. And it's not really for anybody else. But part of that is to be able to say, hey, I'm worthy of this person coming in. Yeah, it looks like you moved out of the grandmother's house. It got sold. You got given an inheritance, a small one, not enough to even go buy a house. But it looks like as you went through, there's somewhere around here where there's a secretary. It looks like you're working in an office for somebody, just helping them do filing and stuff. It looks like the gentleman that comes in, it looks like he's a client. And it's the first time you're meeting him, and he's just a little bit younger than you, but he's very handsome. It looks like you did marry in that past life, but it looks like he has the wealth. So in this lifetime, it's about you bringing your wealth, not just money, but like abundance of everything. Your looks, how charismatic you are, how you perceive yourself outward, how you talk outward. And it's coming from love within you. It looks like this same gentleman's coming back in this lifetime. And I see a ring going on your finger in about, it looks like it's going to be a long engagement because I got 8 years. So that can shift and change depending on the other person and yourself once you're together. But I feel like this person's going to come in within the next 14 months. And again, that can change as well, because it's bringing the focus back to you. When you fall in love with yourself, when you are everything for yourself, that other person shows up as a representation of you. Are you 100% ready for that? No, it feels like you're chasing that right now. So let that go and just surrender that a little bit and just focus it all inside. I actually have a self-mastery class coming up that's going to teach people exactly that, how to bring every single awareness to themselves and then let the outside reflect everything that you desire to you. So it would be only you having to step in as you. I missed the question before that, or I missed the comment before that. Let me just scroll down here. You were very close to your mom. Yeah, that's okay. You know someone already. It doesn't feel like you know them yet. So if there is someone who you're interested in, see if it's a go. If not, that's okay. And see where this leads you. I still feel like you should go into yourself as opposed to chasing somebody else. I think for you right now, that's your best course of action because it shows you the internal stuff that's still a little bit off balance. Aryana, Aranya Gupta. Can you see in the Akashic records if my wife will come back to me? Nope. It literally stops. Nope. I'm going to actually go back to a past life for you because that's where this is showing up. So it looks like in one of your past lives in the 1700s, it looks like she left as well. But because of cultural, it's almost like she wasn't. I'm just making sure I'm reading it right. It looks like there's cultural things or religious reasons why they can't, if that makes sense, in this past life in the 1700s. It looks like once she left, that was it. And it's almost as though in the past life as well that she went with somebody else without being divorced. So then you've got even more stuff. Yeah, I'm in your Akashic right now reading this as to why. I don't see her coming back, and this is why. So it's almost like you guys have these cycles where it's like, okay, I'll be with you, and then I need to get going. I need to run. I need to find something else that's better. So no, I don't see her coming back. Even if I go into your timeline going forward, there is nothing of her. But I do see somebody else coming in, and that's only if you want to allow it. If you don't want to allow it, you don't have to. But I feel like there's part of this where this is an internal thing for you as well. It feels like there's still judgment and stuff from this past life. So we'll do some healing on that. But it's still coming in this. You're hard on yourself. You're judging yourself and you're looking for other people to validate that as well. It looks like there's some criticism and joy. When do I see it? Are you fully divorced yet? Because sometimes we need to allow those things to close out fully before we allow the next one to come in. Because if you're going to chase after a new relationship and the other one isn't done, then you're basically doing the same thing from your past life. But it could be within the next 8 months. I'm just healing out the stuff from the past life. Yeah, you need to get on that then. If you're ready to move on, then file for divorce. Finish that out, because sometimes the universe, when you close the doors, it opens more because your emotions are on the line while that door is open in anticipation that they're going to come back or come and revisit. I don't see it. I really don't. There may be communication over what needs to be split. Other than that, I don't see it. But it looks like it's amicable. It doesn't look like there's any fighting or anything. So it feels like it's good. So we'll let that shift for you because I can feel that coming through the heart and in your head. There we go. I feel like she is, yes. Bernadette Connolly says, any guidance appreciated, please. I feel like you're wearing a little bit of rose-colored glasses. I feel like you need to watch everything, be the observer of everything. It feels as though you like to stay with narrowed focus and your guides are trying to pull you into this open focus. There's some things that you choose not to see. There's some things around some females around you as well that you don't want to see. I feel like some of them talk not so nice about you behind your back. So it's about becoming the observer, not always the first to speak out. I feel like you have lots to say. How that's perceived by others sometimes can get misconstrued. So just make sure that you're coming from your highest, but don't tell everybody everything. I've had to learn that as well. It's what do I need to share and what do I want to share, as opposed to I need to share everything with you. It's okay to hold some things for yourself. James Merchant, may I get a message, please? Yeah, my guys are just saying to draw cards for you. I feel like you hold a lot of tension in your jaw. Things are not settled. It feels like you're stressed. It feels like you're trying to overthink the answers to things, and it's not working. It's not coming into the alignment that you want. Yeah. So by overthinking, you're hermiting yourself inward, and it's not giving you answers. I feel like writing some things down would be really, really helpful for you. But I also feel like sharing your emotions outward. So go for a walk, talk it out loud. You can write it down or do voice dictation and then just delete it. You don't even need to listen to it back if you don't want to. But this is key for you to be able to move forward to the highest of what you actually want. You've got to let go of some of these emotional connections to your past. You've got a buddy that looks like, oh, I can feel it in your ear. It's almost like he told you something and then he was incorrect. So it's not about because you listened to him, it's what you heard. So not always is everything the way that we perceive it to be. So I feel like this relationship with you and this gentleman in the past, it's like you want that friendship back, but it's not going to happen. It's like a slingshot of your emotions, right? He's just a reflection back to you of what's not working. But I also feel like there's change coming. There's a current relationship with a female. It doesn't look like there's a marriage with them, but it looks like a good friendship. It feels like that structure is going to change. I feel like that person's going to move forward, and it's going to be tough because you've got to disconnect just a little bit. And it's almost like this friendship you want it to come back. She needs it to move out. So in your future, I see some of this stuff coming to a close for you as well. But I also do see that there's travel. I see Disney somewhere around Florida as a trip. And I also see it looks like there's like a retreat that you're going to go on. It can be a breath work, or it can be like a Joe Dispenza type thing. But I feel like you need to be able to experience that for yourself, what it's like to expand your own consciousness, because I feel like you're just starting some of this stuff. Even though you show up to this stuff, it feels like you're just starting. You feel like a baby in training wheels. So I feel like it's going to accelerate fast for you. I do also see you leading people later, but you got to start into it on your own first. Does that make sense? Welcome in, everybody. Glad to see you guys. Patrick, good afternoon. Good to see you. Julie. Jody Jenkins says card. Perfect. Grateful to have you guys all here. Julie, lots of Julies. Kelly, welcome. Kraz, welcome. You've got some good stuff coming. I feel like there's a couple of business ideas and adventures that are going to come in. There's a partnership definitely coming in. This feels more, they just said, be cautious of verbal agreements. Verbal agreements don't always work for you. Verbal agreements kind of end in like someone being hurt. So make sure that you're coming from a place of, I got what I need out of this. If it's verbal, put it in writing. And if it's something that's going to go bigger, put it in writing. And don't be afraid to ask for what you want. This shows your power and strength behind who you are. So make sure that you're understanding what you want to do, the contracts that are being created with it, and then move forward. You definitely got this. It's all lining up. Yep. Welcome. Hey, Mel, good to see you. Althea Pepe, will you ever get married? You can. I don't see it as a no, but I see a very big hesitation. Very, very big hesitation. It's almost like you've been so hurt in the past that you say you want it, but if it was to come around right now, I don't know if you would say yes. So there's some stuff that you're stuck in the past. Actually, let's do the timeline. Let's see what we need to move out of the way so that this can actually happen. Which makes sense. This is fun. I'm going to shift some stuff in your body too, because it's stuck in your gut. So frustration, trapped, and then not loved. So And you may not understand all of that, and that's okay. So we're just going to shift some stuff through your body for a second. I can feel it releasing already. So we get a young boy coming in very strong around your teenage years who you had a crush on or infatuation with. Not necessarily that you dated, but I feel like you feel rejected by them. There. So that's collapsed out of there. So let's just see. It almost feels like you don't feel worthy of getting married. Yep. Yeah. So you've had to abandon ship on the things that you actually want. It's like you've let your past go, okay, I don't want that ever again, or I don't need that ever again, when you actually want it really bad, but you've let that ship sail. And this is where you like settle. It's like you think you have to settle for something you actually don't want. So as soon as you learn to master yourself and who you are, what you want, how you love yourself, then I definitely see the marriage coming in. But right now you're on the fence. So with that shift of those cards through the timelines, that's already helping to shift. I just want to check one thing in your Akashic because they're showing me one lifetime. It looks like you got married, had about 5 kids, and then he abandoned you. And then you had to figure out how to take care of everything. So you're in this thing where it's like, will this happen again? Will the past repeat itself over and over? There you go. So that just shifted. You're working on it. Yeah. Yeah. Now it feels within 12 months. So that's how fast that all shifted for you. So now it's you stepping in, loving yourself, and let that reflection come back. Welcome in, everybody. Kelly O'Neill, thank you so much. I'm grateful to be here. I'm grateful I was asked. It's fun. I do this stuff every day, all day too. So for me, it's all fun. Yeah. Welcome in, everybody. Grateful to see you guys. Barbara and Wendy, welcome, welcome. Netta, welcome. Kelly, Julie, welcome. Just going to come down to the bottom here. You are very welcome. Thank you so much for letting me read for you. Yeah. Helen Mensel says, have spirit in family. Oh, okay. I'll do her first, then I'll do the other girl. Actually, would love to know about my past life. It looks like in 1618, it looks like you were a peasant. It looks like you're planting some wheat in the fields. You tend to hermit yourself a little bit. You tend to stay kind of into your own self. It looks like you were offered a job as like a clothes washer. You tend to hold a lot of where you need to have responsibility for everything. So I have to make it work. I have to make it this. I have to do this. I have to do that. So you're trying so hard. Oh, thanks, Kelly. Appreciate that. I'm also seeing in that past life as well that as you get older, it's not necessarily that you slow down. It's that you still don't know how to ask other people for help. So it looks like you're still doing the same thing and adding more to your plate, but not actually understanding things for yourself as well. You got to take some time for yourself. I feel like you're very busy, but it's busy in kind of the wrong way, if that makes sense. So take a moment for yourself, take a day for yourself. I also do feel like you need to take a 2-day weekend for yourself, like just you. Go somewhere and just do something for just you. I just want to go back to the one girl that I was going to, Helen, have spirit and family message about my mom. Yeah, your mom is good. They're all good over there. When spirit transitions over, like it's like nothing ever happened. This is just a blip on the radar, and there is just pure bliss. But everyone over there is good. They're all watching over you. They're like, we question some of the things that you do, but they're like, it's your choice. We can't interfere unless you want us to. I do feel like they follow you everywhere. It's like you're the lost puppy that they're trying to watch over. I'm sorry. I have a guide that kind of like stands like this close, and it's like, you move, we're moving with you. It feels like your family does that too. They want you to really, truly just harness into your own energy and your own path. And they're showing me a trip to Hawaii or somewhere really tropical, really warm. And I feel like it could lead to a catalyst of a big move for you. They're like, stop worrying about us. Stop worrying about us. You'll understand when you transition over what it's like to come back. But right now, don't worry about us. They're like, focus on you. I'm also picking up from mom, like it couldn't have been avoided. It couldn't have been avoided. I had to go. She didn't want to stay a second longer than what she had to, but she feels guilty that she left you here. But on the other hand, she's like, I'm not feeling guilty. So she wants you to understand it in a human terms, but in spiritual terms, she's like, I'm free. So just know that she's good. She's happy, and she wants you to be happy. Cindy, peace be still. Greetings. Anything for me about my romantic relationship and my amazing son? You can book a reading, so I'm only going to answer one of those. Again, any relationship that you want to emphasize, like romantic or otherwise, it's just about bringing it back to yourself first. I feel like there is some stuff coming up in your pathway that you're placing there as obstacles for yourself to understand you more. So I feel like that's going to come in for the next about 8 months, because there's things that you've done all along. And this is your guides just channeling in. There's things that you've done all along that you are sick of and you don't want to settle for anymore. And so it's almost like you've created this agreement that says, I'm going to start looking at all of these things for myself, and it's going to come in really, really strong. As you shift this and as you start to walk through this relationship with yourself, everything around you is going to change. The relationship with your son, people, friends, family, all of it's going to change. And you might feel a little bit alone, but that's not the case. You're actually up leveling yourself into something far greater, and you'll have more awareness of that, and more people will come in. And again, I see you at a few events as well. They look small events, like local events. So go to sound baths, go to healing events, go to just workshops and stuff, just to get out there. So I see that coming in for you. Marina Harris says, will I see and hear spirit? Anytime you want to, it's already there. It never is not. We're always connected to spirit. It's what you think. Oh, you're so welcome, Cindy. It's what you think. It's what you think. It's what you think you can and can't do. You can already hear spirit. You already get messages, and you just interpret it in the way that you want to, even though that's not truly how it is represented. All the clairs are just one. So if you try to separate them, you're going to have a harder or more difficult time understanding this for yourself. So I would say bring all your clairs close together. When I teach mediumship and I teach all the clairs, I don't teach it as a separate thing. I teach it to you individually, and then I teach you how to put it together, which not a lot of people do, right? They still see it, hear it, think it, know it, whatever the clairs are. I don't do it that way, because the more we can connect in with everything, the easier it becomes. So if I limit myself and say I can't do something, it's going to be that always. So I've never done that since the very beginning. And I've only done this for 6 years. I've never told myself I can't do something. I will find a way, and then I'll find a way to do it really easy. And that's how I teach everything. It's super simple, because it's not meant to be hard. Welcome, Julie, Lori. Welcome, Helen. Come down here. Tracy, welcome. Mel Wellens would love a message. First thing is watch when you emotionally eat. it does not sit well in your gut. And they also said like limit how late you eat. So like try not to snack later in the evening. I can feel it. It sits like rocks in your upper gut. And then your intestines pay for it. And then so does your bowel. You get backed up. The other thing I would say as well is, well, the first thing they're saying is breathe into the diaphragm, not your chest. You're constricting yourself on like your breath. And when you do that, it's almost as though you hold your breath and then you hold things back and then you hold yourself still. So it's actually playing in consecutive form for you. So it's learning to breathe properly for you. But I do also feel like there's going to be a shift for you, which I kind of figured this card was going to come up. There's a shift coming for you where you're going to start to collaborate with other people. I feel like you need to let people in first. I feel like you're kind of private and you'll only go out at certain times or go out with certain people. It's time for you to expand that. You're holding yourself back from a lot of things and a lot of people. There's lots of good people that are waiting to come in to befriend you. So you've got to make that change and want to shift that for yourself as well. Deborah Chapman says, I would love a spirit message, please. They're like, you created it all. I feel like you look back on the past and regret certain things. It feels as though you've held yourself responsible for a lot of things. You carry a lot of weight on your chest. So this feels like limited, or it feels like you're walking around pressed in. They're like, you can let it all go. None of it truly matters anymore. You're very welcome. None of it really matters. You're making it matter. You have children who live at home, Deborah? Yeah. Do you have children still living at home? Your youngest needs you to communicate with them more. There's something around the communication with your children that's off. It's almost like you guys need each other. You have no children? Gotcha. There's something that's off with this communication. It's like they're not telling you something, but they need to tell you. So give them the opportunity to open up. Does that make sense? They're holding something back that they need to tell you. They just don't know how to tell you. So it feels like there's like a disconnect in the communication between you guys. So let that. Yeah, that's fine. Do it with all of them. Even though it's coming in as just the one, do it with all of them. Bring the communication back together. Have Sunday night suppers if they're close enough. There's something that needs to be said. I'm sure not ready. Do it anyways. You'll see how healing it is. I know we get stubborn. It's okay to let it go. Welcome, Shan. Welcome. Davy Jones, awesome. Can you see my future in love from the Akasha? Yeah, I can see everything. I can read all timelines forwards and backwards for everyone. Looks like she's short. She's tiny. Short, slender, blonde hair down mid-back. Looks like she's got grayish blue eyes. She wears glasses. Looks like she's got a dog. It doesn't feel like she's been around you yet. It feels like she's going through a little bit of gut issues. So usually when someone is not well or they're working on their own stuff and purging, that will come in for them later because they're focused on themselves. I feel like you need to date though a little bit for sure. I feel like you're going to meet 2 people before you meet this one. I got up to 10 months. So it feels like it's a little bit away. So allow that to come in for yourself. Yep. You don't have to wait around. You can go date. Go have fun. Meet friends. Look at it as I'm going to go meet a whole bunch of friends first. Go on the Meetup app. There's loads of things you can do on Meetup. Meetups is around the entire world if you're looking for something to do. And you can go in and you can explore all of that. Different things. Go on hikes. Go to comedy events. Go to whatever. Go meet people. And you'll start to see where your connection pulls in from that. You actually don't have a lot of lifetimes where you were like fully married with like tons of kids. You've had sporadic. So it feels like you're very selective. You get that from your grandfather. Very selective in what you do. Ruth Goldbark. So something, remember, everything from future is possible possibilities, especially if you don't label it. So it's only a possibility for it to happen because you have to actually step into it as well. It looks like you're going to go to an event. There's something around like a book creation event. So it looks like you're going to go in and look at how to create a book for yourself. It looks like it's going to be a novel because you didn't know you could actually write as well as you can. This you're pulling in from galactic times. My suggestion that they're showing me would be go read Cryon, A Journey Home. I think that'll help kickstart some of this stuff, but I do see you at a writing event, but I also see you at a retreat. I also feel like you're going to travel as well. You keep yourself stuck. You keep yourself like anchored into where you are. There's a fear of moving. Not moving per se like house, but moving like traveling outside far distances. You got to get going. There's things you're missing out on, and then you're going to regret them later. So you might as well just do it. It's fun. Travel is actually not expensive if you understand how to do it. Get the cheap tickets and get the Airbnbs for a good price and just go. At the end of the day, it's just a short amount of money that you would spend on. Basically, some people buy garbage all the time and they can't wonder why they don't have money. But if you understand what you're doing with it, you'll start to see where the beauty is and as it moves forward. Tracy Hand, does Spirit have a message for me? Yeah, quit procrastinating. They're like, she's got these glasses on that only allow her to see 2 feet in front of her. Take your glasses off and start moving and exploring life. Go for a hike. Do something different with your life. But you're procrastinating. They're telling me you don't listen very well. You only listen to how you want it to be. It's okay. Welcome, Kissa. Nice to see you too. Good to have you here. Good to have all of you guys here. It's nice to meet some of you guys. This is a new crowd for me. It's good. But there's like a ton of comments. Bill Diamond says forward 2 years from now. The way that I read the Akashic doesn't work that way. But let's see. Again, it's possible possibilities because you're not giving me a reference to anything. I actually feel like you're going to move house. I see a new house. I feel like you're on a hill. I also see you going to Switzerland. I feel like you're climbing the big mountain. I also feel like you're going to meet somebody from your past there. And I also feel like there's a job shift coming as well. Somebody from your past is going to offer you a job. I also feel like you're going to step into mediumship. I can see you channeling a gentleman who was on the earth like 20 years ago. And he's going to bring forward some knowledge to debunk some of the stuff that's being said. Very, very intelligent man. I feel like part of this has to do with your grandfather or great-grandfather. So I feel like that's going to come in with this channel as well. So there's still lots for you to come. And again, it's possible. You don't have to do any of the things that I'm saying because it's all future stuff. Yeah. Guided ascending light with master. Hello, never been here before. Spirit said, click on it. So I did. Well, welcome. We're grateful to have you. Joanne Griffiths, any messages for you? I feel like there's something around flowers for you, dried flowers. I feel like you're going to create like potpourris or something that help people shift. It's not going to be like the potpourris we made when we were little with like the orange peels and stuff like that. This feels like it's very intentional. So like turmeric and daisies and gladiolas. So I would start going into meditation and ask for that insight to come in. Grand rising, everybody. Good to see you guys all here. Natalie Racy. Oh, thank you so much. You got to come to peace inside of your heart, Natalie. There's some things that are out of alignment. I feel like there's a child that was miscarried, or maybe you possibly didn't even know, but there's a little one by you in spirit. And it feels like this has not been communicated out. There's this fear of, or this sense of loss that comes through you, but it hasn't been fully healed yet. It hasn't been acknowledged yet. I feel like you don't even know. Did you have a miscarriage, Natalie? Natalie Racy. I'll just move on. Guided Ascending Light says, I'm not sure what to ask. Just ask a question, whatever you want to know. Yeah, I'll just give you a message because I feel like you're just going to keep posting. I feel like there's part of you that wants to go faster in your journey. They're like you're on like an escalator in like the airport where it's like, okay, let's hurry up, let's get this done. But they're like holding you back a little bit, saying slow down a little bit. That's just you. There's part of you that's not ready to accelerate forward as fast as you want to go because they don't want you to miss anything. I do feel like you're going to do a breathwork event as well. So if you're not doing breathwork already, I see that coming in. I also see travel to Egypt for you. They literally just put me in the airport again. I was like, oh, that's interesting. So I do see that for you as well. Jolie James, can you please give me some guidance around career? Well, I feel like you need to work for yourself. I feel like there's marketing in there for you in a different sense, like not creating social media stuff, but I feel like there's some marketing. I feel like you're really good on the back end of stuff, not necessarily always wanting to be front and center, but I feel like you need to get something out there. It feels like it's very stuck. It feels like it's not moving. I see this around social media with you. There's a social aspect to this where it's like, I just think I have to think of how to put it together. I'm going to just give you a scenario because for me, it's how to give it to you in the words. So I have to kind of give it to you as the way they're showing it. So if I hired you to work for me, it's like you would put all of my posts together. So you would create a post on Facebook that would say, okay, today is this, and here's the deal of the day. And then tomorrow, here's this. And it would be like you create all my content that can be launched out, and then you just launch it in one day and it just feeds itself. So it's like you're creating 30-day content for people to put onto their page. Does that make sense? But you've got this marketing stuff because you're behind the scenes kind of like putting the love into it, if that makes sense. That makes sense. Like social media. Yes. 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 Yeah, you're creating it though. Like I see you in Canva, but I also see you like in meetings with people going, here's how we need to strategize this. Here's how we need to put this in here. Give me all your events that you have coming up and I'll make all the posters and all the links and all this stuff that's created out for you. So I feel like that would be really, really good for you. I feel like it would, if you took on 5 or 6 clients and did that over a month span, like you'd be rolling in the cash, but you'd be fulfilled. And this is the thing, you're not fulfilled in anything you're doing. So it feels like you're just sitting there going, I don't know. So bring some fulfillment in. You have all this behind the scenes stuff. Put together a 30-day and how much it would cost for you to do that for somebody, and then launch it out on your own social media. There's lots of free platforms that you can put that in. Start putting together what that looks like for you as like a business plan for yourself that says, okay, I'm going to launch this out. Here's my 30-day program. Here's what I offer. And then let me show you behind the scenes of what I can create for you. Don't give them it all until they sign up with you. But I feel like you're going to make great money working just 5 or 6 clients. I have a social media team that I work with, and he literally said that I'm his shining star client in not those words, but same idea, right? Out of the clients that he works for, he loves what he's creating for me because it's very different, right? I'm not the same as everybody else. So you want to diversify what you can do for other people. Dorian Ray says, what do you see happening in my current relationship? I feel like you guys need to talk. It feels dead in the water. It feels like you're both bored. It feels like you want to stay, but you want to go. You want to have fun, but you don't. You want to do this, but you don't. And so there's no movement on either side. So have a conversation. I will say that till over and over again. People ask me all the time, is my relationship going to survive? I'm like, well, have communication around it. I can see all your timelines. I can see you staying. I can see you going. I can see you married. I can see you divorced. So for me, if I give you all that, you're not going to know what to do with it. Have communication. Put all your cards on the table of what's not working in your relationship. And if there's no movement, you don't have to stay. It's not living up to your expectation. But on the other side of this is if you lay it on the table and you're willing to make movement, now you have change. So yeah, you choose. Again, communication. Communication solves everything. Then you understand where you're coming from. It's the same thing I just said. You have to listen. Hear yourself in your own head. What are you talking about in your own head? Use that as your step up. If you've been disconnected for some time, why do you want it back? You're disconnected for a reason. There's part of you that doesn't want it. So why chase after something that you don't want or that's not benefiting you? What do you gain from it? Nothing. It's always the right time to communicate. Communication gives you answers. The more you be quiet, what are you gaining from it? Absolutely nothing. You're sitting around waiting for the communication to happen so you can understand where you are. Communicate and get it over with. Here, I'm communicating this outward. If they're not reciprocating, then you either stay or you go. Yeah, you have to decide. You can book a one-on-one. We can definitely go deeper into it. Welcome in. Grateful to have you guys here. I think my time is just about up. Maybe I'll do one more. Nikki Sorrell says, I would love a bit of guidance. I feel like you're a reader. I feel like you need to understand how to read people and get out there and start putting this forward. I don't see you doing cards. I see you doing more channeled. But you need to get going. You feel like you're sitting stagnant too. I feel like they're showing me a rocking chair with like needle and thread. So sewing or crocheting or knitting. But it feels like your purpose is still very much alive and ready to open up for you. So I would say grab a deck of cards if you don't have them already, even like regular playing cards, and deal them out. And ask yourself what it means to you to have those cards. Doesn't matter what the cards are. Like, I don't use oracle cards anymore other than my own, right? So these are my decks. This is my tarot. And I only use them for this stuff to give you guys. I don't use them on a normal basis. I just channel it from my guides. Yeah, let me give you guys a little shout where you guys can find me. So if you're on TikTok, Infinity Source Code, I have 27,000 followers. You can come follow me. I'm usually on a couple of nights a week. I try to go live on Facebook one night a week on Pure Radiant Soul. And then you can visit my website, infinitysourcecode.com. All of my workshops, all of my free events. I have a free event coming up this Sunday. It's how to connect to your spirit guides. So if you want to learn that, you definitely can come in and learn that. Let me just see if I can grab the link for that, and I'll throw it in the chat here. You guys can sign up if you want it. If you want to come and join, it starts at 10 a.m. on Sunday, and then you guys can come in and experience that, how I teach it. It's just a small workshop. It's not huge. Oh, I can't post in the chat here. If you go to my, let me see what my link tree is. My link tree is at Sheri Collins. So if you go to my link tree, it's the first one in there. It's a free workshop. You guys can join in. Oh, poop. Where'd you go? Uh-oh, I lost you. Oh no. Sorry, I shouldn't have done that. There we go. Yeah, so you can come and join me on Sunday if you want to, and I'll do just a little small exercise and you guys can come in for that. But I have lots of events coming up. I've got lots of workshops coming up. I've got lots of courses and classes coming up. If you want to learn Akashic Records, I have a full class coming up in November, and then I have a year-long program starting next year. So, and if you want to book readings, infinitysourcecode.com, healings, you name it. So, yeah. Oh, Kelly, thank you so much. Yeah, follow. I'd love for you guys to join me. Yeah, it's so much fun. I love social media. You can also go on my YouTube as well. Infinity Source Code. There's lots of videos on there. There's lots of work on there that I've done in the past, and there's lots of like good little nuggets of stuff. Can you predict something for you that is destined? Everything is destined. You choose it. Anything that you want. Everything is your prediction of what you want. You live, you go through a cycle of 4, and then you die. The physical dies in this life doesn't mean it's not already living somewhere else as well. So that's how that works. Everything in between. I'll give you a little bit of an example because that's a great question. So I'm going to give you just a little bit of understanding from my point of view. Before you come here, there's a contract that's on the table. And while that contract's on the table, you can look at it all you want and say, okay, yeah, that's good. When you come into this life as a baby, you forget this. Basically, from the moment of your conception, you forget all of this, right? So when you choose to come here and then all of a sudden you grow up and all of a sudden this contract starts playing out the moment you're conceived. So when you become aware of something that you don't like, let's just say when you're 21, all of a sudden you went on a drinking binge and you ended up pregnant. If you ended up pregnant, you have a choice. That baby can stay or that baby can go. Right now, you're the only one who's pregnant with that baby. So then you get to choose how you're going to do things. So some would say, okay, I'm going to go get an abortion, right? If you did that and that wasn't in your contract, you just rewrote your contract. So you have the ability to change everything in your contract. Just because I tell you something doesn't mean you have to have it because it's possible possibilities. So what is for sure? You live, you go through the 4 cycles and you die. That is for sure. That is what you are destined to do. That's 100%. I live in Ontario, Canada. So if anybody's familiar with Ontario, Canada, I live about an hour outside of Toronto. And eventually in 2025, I will be doing in-person stuff where I live. and probably travel and do some stuff too. So hopefully next year we'll be doing a trip to Ireland, and I'll do a 1-day event there. And then we're trying to organize Hawaii for Christmas time this year. So it just depends on how things, and we'll just do a 1-day event, just to kind of do like a meet and greet and a little bit of meditations and stuff like that. Yeah. Then the contract is not even real. It is real because you need something to jump off of before you come here. But you have the ability to change everything about your life. I did mine. So I'll just give you a little bit of a backstory. Just kick me off whenever I need to there. Before I started this journey, my marriage ended because I chose to end it. And then everything started to shift and change. I became a carpenter. I left carpentry to do this full time 6 years ago. A year before that, I actually spent in meditation because I wanted to change my life. And so when I decided I no longer wanted to live the life I had when I was a child, then I changed that structure of, instead of being poor, I was abundant. Instead of having money issues, I now had lots of money. So you can change things more like guidelines instead of strict rules. Yeah, that's all it is. You have the ability to change everything in your life. Not one thing you are living through right now that you don't want to go through do you have to. None of it. Not one thing. You can change everything. And I'm living proof of that. I changed my entire life. I changed everything about who I was, what I looked like, what my body looked like, what my mindset was. Yeah. I knew one thing for sure, and I knew this when I was in high school. We had a test that we had to take in high school that would tell us what we would do for the rest of our life, and mine was teacher. I just didn't know where that was going to come into my life because I always loved that. My teacher in high school who did tool and die, he told me I could come back and teach tool and die anytime I wanted to in high school. I just had to go do the schooling. I never did it because that wasn't where my passion was. I wanted to be a tool and die maker, and look where I am now. I owned a bakery for 14 years. I ran a daycare for 15 years, and I gave all of it up to come into this pathway. Wherever this is going to leave me, that's where it will lead me. Same with you. Anything that you think you can do, you can do. You can change the contract. Absolutely. That's why I teach the Akashic Records the way that I do. It teaches you how to change, heal, and shift everything from the past. I did all of mine. In 5 years, I healed everything in my Akashic. So it's learning the tools to help shift you into that. And that's all we have time for. Thanks, everyone. Oh, thank you guys so much for joining me. This was so much fun. I appreciate all of you guys. I will be back next Thursday to do healing work. So I think she's going to post out for that. So thank you guys, all of you. I love you. Thank you so much. I look forward to seeing you guys soon. Have an amazing rest of your day.